Okay, I promised you a vegan cocktail, and I'm going to make one. Now, I really like batch cocktails because you can just kind of mix them up, put them in the fridge, and then you can pour one for everybody. You don't have to monkey with mixing them on the spot. Now, I like my martinis, but I like martinis made with gin, the way martinis are supposed to be made. But my friend Brian, he makes dirty martinis, and he makes them with vodka. And I honestly believe that vodka is the way to make a dirty martini after having his. They're so good. So what I'm going to do is I got this bottle of good vodka here. And now this size bottle is what we used to call a fifth. And I think colloquially we still call it a fifth. And that means it's a fifth of a gallon, which is just slightly more than 25 ounces. These days they're 750 milliliters because of the metric system. And so 750 milliliters just happens to be slightly more than 25 ounces. So it's still a fifth. It's actually like 2/10 of an ounce short of a fifth, but still the same size. Now, the ratio I'm looking for is 3 parts vodka to 1 part olive brine. I'm not going to add any vermouth or anything else like that. We're just going to go straight vodka and olive brine, but it's going to be a pretty briny mix. We're going 3 to 1. So what I want to do is I want to reduce this to about 18 ounces. But to do so, I am going to remove 7 ounces of vodka from this bottle. Now, I don't have a 7 ounce on this measuring cup, but if I bring it up right between 6 and 7, or 6 and 8, I should be good. Cheers. So that's a lot of vodka. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the approximate same amount of, well, I could just pour it right to here. That's where it was, right? Let's try that. I don't think so. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got garlic and jalapeno stuffed olives. These olives are fantastic. They're from Tasso's Olive Company. Get them at Costco. If you're not a fan of olives, or you've only ever had black olives, I highly recommend buy good olives. They're buttery, they're briny, they're rich. So I'm going to pour out, see if I can nail 7 ounces here. Almost there. Looks like that's about 180 milliliters. Maybe a hair more. Okay. Now I got me a funnel because I know I can't hit that target. Here we go. So that's doing all the mixing for me. I don't need to do any more mixing than that. Whoa, that's more than came out of there. Which one did I eyeball wrong? Oh, I think it's this measuring cup. I eyeballed that wrong. All right, because that is definitely, well, that's not definitely 7 ounces. That's just shy. So I'm pretty close. So there we go. That's going into the freezer because this will not freeze. It's a high alcohol content, and I've just added briny water. The water would freeze normally, but it's got so much salt and so much alcohol in it now, it ain't gonna freeze. So we'll check back in a couple of hours and try our dirty martini. James Bond never says, I want my martini shaken, not stirred. Well, maybe in the movies, but what he actually says is shaken until very cold. And the reason that you have a shaken martini and not a stirred martini is because it gets colder. The action of the gin hitting the ice will actually make it colder than simply stirring it. It clouds the gin, which is a process they say bruises the gin, but all that is air bubbles. I think the sin of martinis is serving one that is too warm. So our pre-batched dirty martinis. Have been in the freezer now for several hours. I've been icing this glass down for a few minutes, so I'm just gonna dump the ice out. Got some olives here. I'm gonna put 3 in there, the way Brian drinks it. And let's see what this is like. All right. The thing is it won't freeze solid because it's because of the brine and the alcohol, but it pours like oil when it's been in the freezer. Right now, it's literally hurting my hand. It is so cold. And when any moisture in the air touches the surface, it's freezing because this drink is literally sub-freezing at this point. I'm gonna have a drink while it's still this cold. That's so good. It's briny, it's vodka-y, and vodka just tastes so clean and fresh. It's great. I love it. I love the flavor of these olives. They're so good. And this vodka is really good. And it is so cold. It is just the right temperature. I'm just going to top this off. And I'm going to go back to watching 1994's Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I'll see you tomorrow.